Hi, and welcome to a video lecture for the course CCS 238. So, in this video, we'll talk about the chapter 6 of the book, the concept of programming language, so which are your data types. Okay. So, for the most part of the data types, so you compare, especially sa ating mga primitive types, so i-remove ko na lang na siya sa inyong mga topic diri. Okay, so, and I think you are familiar on some of these types, no? Especially the character and then the arrays. However, i-retain ko lang siya kaya there are some new concepts that you might learn from this. So, overall, this is the topic that we'll be tackling here. So, let us move on. No certain introduction. So, to refresh your mind, your data type defines a collection of your data objects and a set of predefined operations of these objects. Also, let us not confuse ourselves with the term object. Okay, ang object ni, this represents an instance. Sorry, yes, your object. The object represents an instance of a usually defined type, or you can call your abstract data type. And yung descriptor naman is the collection of your attributes of your variable. Now, for the design of these data types, so what operations are defined and how are they specified? Operations, so what operations do they usually perform on these data types? And paano to siya gina-specify? How do we define? How do we declare? Something like that. So let us skip on the first data type na discuss na, which is your character. So here you are familiar with your characters. No, so characters can be a value. So in some programming languages, no, a character no, is only defined as a single word. But for others, ang character, these are values that are sequences of characters. No, so in a way, consider nyo siya na array. No, so is it just is it a primitive type or just a special type of array? Special kind of array. So which is it? Okay. And here, should the length of the string be static or dynamic? So since we're considering it as an array, okay. Now, the typical operations we perform on your arrays are as follows. You have your assignment and copying. No, so obviously we can assign your array variable. You can copy. If you're familiar with the Python function, no, copy. And I think Java, may arap man. Comparison, you can compare two characters, concatenation, no, combining two characters, substring reference, you will get a slice of your character and pattern matching. So these are some of the operations you perform. Okay. So for in certain languages naman, the way they implement your character, especially sa C and C++, so they are not primitive and they are considered to be an array. So here we use the car arrays and library of functions to provide set operations. Hey, how about sa Snowball 4 naman? This is Snowball 4. This is a string manipulation language. Similar sa ating APL. So car is considered to be primitive and in this programming language, it supports many operations, including elaborate pattern matching. Now, so Fortran and Python, You have your primitive type. So this is are considered as primitive type with assignment and several operations only. Okay. Your Java and C Sharp, Ruby, and Swift character types are said to be primitive, so via the string class. And for your scripting languages, you have, so it provides no, a built-in pattern matching using regular expressions. So often, no, I think sa Python, no, if you remember, ang sa pag-perform using regex. Okay, for the limitations naman, the length or specifically of your characters, we have sa COBOL, sa Java, sa string class, that is static. So we only set it as a specific length. No? However, for C and C++, we have what we call the limited dynamic length. A special character is used here to indicate the end of the string's characters. So rather than maintaining the length. So here note ang may indicator kita that limits the length of your array. Sorry, the length of your string character. However, for Snowball, for Perl and JavaScript, ang length of your characters is considered to be dynamic. So wala sang maximum number of maximum length. Okay. So in evaluating, no, in checking, seeing if you are using character or character string type, so this aids in writability, no, for developers. This also, when considering it as a primitive type with static length, they are inexpensive to provide. It consumes less memory compared sa string mismo. Okay. And also, ang dynamic length is nice. So, especially to sa C and C++, no? But is it worth the expense? Expense in developing, determining kung dito siya i-place ang inyong terminator, no? Or the indicator. Okay. And in implementing this character type, data type, no? You have your static length. So that is in the compile time descriptor. So gina-define na siya during compile time. And then for the limited dynamic length, so though you may need to run the program, as it may need a runtime descriptor for the length, but not in C and C++. And for dynamic length, so it needs to have a runtime descriptor. So the descriptor ang ma-define, no, ang ma-attribute sa inyong variable, that's going to be executed in runtime. The allocation is the biggest implementation problem. Kaya you need to determine kung ano na siya, kung pila na siya ang maximum size sa inyong array. Sorry, sa inyong character, I mean. No? And then, kay over time, pwede nyo na siya i-append, no? During runtime. So, yeah, that might be the case. Um, yeah, update na ang size. Okay. So, compare. So, for the difference, no? Between the compile time and runtime descriptors. So, for the compile time, we have static string, the length and address. And then for the runtime, you have your limited dynamic string, maximum length, current length, and address. So these are the attributes, no, na gina-consider. So if you're using comparative descriptor and runtime descriptor. Okay. So here we have what we call our, as I think you're already familiar with this, no? Ordinal type, range of possible values, you can easily associate it with a set of positive integers. So this is similar to primitive data types. However, ano siya, being associated sa positive integers. So Boolean can be associated with either 1 or 0, no integer and char. Now, enumeration types naman yung enums. So with your enums, so this sets all of the possible values which are named as constants, and you are providing all of these possible values in the definition. As you can see here in the C# example, so here you are declaring an enum called days. So wherein you are so here you are declaring values na. You have your month, Tuesday, no, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Sundays. All of these are constant na siya. So this is not specifically what we call a string value, no, or a integer value, boolean value. So they are considered to be constants ka. Okay, so in considering this data type, so we need to consider we need to check the following. No, is an enumeration constant allowed to appear in more than one type definition? If so, how is the type of an occurrence of that constant check? Since sabi here, wala tayo na-define ang data type. No, specifically, ang attributes siya. So what are the attributes attached to this data type? Are enumeration values coerced into integer? No, it might be. So some programming languages, kino-convert na siya sa integer. And any other type coerced to an enumeration type. So some coerced meaning do gina-convert na bla na siya. Okay. So in evaluating the enumerated type, it definitely aids in readability. So there's no need to code a color as a number. So if you want a variable or data type called red, blue, green, no, you can just create a enumerated enum data type. You can put that as your specific color value, color names. Hindi na kita magbutang sa next values. So very convenient for us developers. It also aids in reliability, so in which the compiler can check the operations. It does not allow colors to be added. No, you cannot perform specific operations. Okay. No enumeration variable can be assigned a value outside of its defined range. So limited lang ang values nga pwede nyo ma-assign. Once, kung di ka bikabalo, balang ka ni compiler, ay sala ni siya ang value na. You need to stick with the enumerated values. Now in C#, F#, Swift, and Java 5.0, so this provides a better support for enumeration than C++, because enumeration type variables in these languages are not coerced into integer types. No? So wala siya gina-convert o wala siya gina-compare into integer types. So nga gina-compare siya into integer types kaya there are some programming languages, no? In order to get those specific para makuha ibla ang reference of enum, no, gina-convert yan na specifically into an integer. Okay, now, no, finishing the going to the next type. So we have your arrays. Obviously, you know what an array is. Now, an array is a homogeneous aggregate of data elements in which an individual element is identified by its position, no, or your index relative to the first element. Now, ang term here nga homogeneous, no? So sometimes ano na siya, kasi hindi ka mo mag-agree like there are some programming languages nga pwede ka mo ka-add sang multiple types of data inside your array. However, for the most programming languages, homogeneous na siya. Now, when we say subscript, these are the value for your index. Amo ng term. What types are legal for subscripts? Are subscripting expressions in element reference range check? When are subscripts range bound? When does allocation take place? Are rag or rectangular multidimensional arrays allowed? or both. So what is the maximum number of subscripts? Can arrays object be initialized? And are any kinds of slices supported? So we will discuss one of them individually. So indexing, no, subscripting. So this is just the mapping of your indices to your elements. So you map which index of your array, no, you define a specific data type to it. No, you assign a value to a variable. Okay. And then for the index syntax, no, how you define your your subscript for Fortran and Ada. So I think these are the black sheep, no, among others in terms of array indexing because they use parentheses. So this might confuse some of you, no, because ang iba gagamit sang parentheses in order to define a function. So ginagamit lang ni EDA or ni ADA because it shows uniformity between array references and function calls. But some of it, no, basi mag-confuse, yeah, it can add confusion. And most of the languages uses your brackets or square brackets. So this is the no, common get a way for us to use array indexing. Now, the values, no, the values of your array index. So most likely, ina-specify na siya as an integer. So for trans C, only, no, sa Java, integer types only. And for index range checking, C++, C Perl, C Fortran do not specify range checking. So range, so what is the highest, no? What is the lowest possible range values? Sa aton nga, no? Sa aton nga array index. No? So do you, how about sa Python? No? Gina-check ba na siya, index range? Kay, I think, ga-accept sila sa negative 1. So, si negative 1, I think that gets the last part. No? So, gabaliskad siya. Instead of starting on the which index starts as the last index so if you specify negative values. So that, do we consider that, no? When checking the index range? However, for Java, your ML, so this is your meta language. C# specify the range checking. So specify na siya ang compiler ta gina-check na siya no if ga out of bounds ang inyong array. Okay. So static subscript ranges are statically bound and storage allocation is also static. So when static, no, you already define the values inside your arrays. Efficient na siya because memory is already allocated, no, before the program is executed. Fixed stack dynamic subscript ranges are statically bound, but the allocation done, but I mean, no, the allocation is done at declaration time. Okay, so medyo static na siya, statically bound ang inyong subscript. However, the allocation of your values mismo is on the declaration. And fixed shift dynamic naman, so this is similar to your fixed stack dynamic. The storage binding here is dynamic but fixed after allocation. So once ma-allocate ta ang aton yung value sa aton yung array, you cannot change that. Dynamic lang pag-bind. Okay. Keep dynamic naman, so binding of the subscript ranges and storage allocation of the values is dynamic and can change any number of times. So advantage diri is flexibility. No? The array, you can say that arrays can grow or shrink during program execution. So you can, ano na siya, these are mostly implemented on languages with dynamic sized arrays. Okay, there are some arrays nga fixed na siya. And then there are some arrays nga pwede ka mo ka-append. Isang items, no? inside your arrays. In C and C++ that include the static modifier are considered to be static. C and C++ arrays without the static modifier are considered to be fixed stack dynamic. C and C++ provide fixed heap dynamic arrays. And C# includes a second class, array class called ArrayList that provides a fixed heap dynamic. No? So may arrays lang yun providing ArrayList. So I believe also si Java no, provides the array class no, called ArrayList. No? So Perl, JavaScript, Python, and Ruby support heap dynamic arrays. So muna gina-point at ko kaina no. The way you utilize dynamic arrays in Python is that you can append, no? You can remove, pop, push your arrays. No? So, meaning dynamic na siya. Sorry. So, initialization naman. So, some language are initialization at the time of the storage allocation. Now, your C, C++, your Java, Swift, and C#. So, here we're in sa atong C#, example, so during our declaration, no, initialization of our list, no, diri na gina sa pag-initialize sa atong nga variable, dira na dayon gina store ang aton nga variables. No? Ga-initialize ang storage allocation because we are already defining the contents of your array. So the character strings naman in C and C++, no? The char name is equals to your Freddy, but ang values na is an array of characters. So mo man sa C and C++, and sa Java initialization of your string objects. So here you have different array initializations. I think most of you are familiar with this concept. No? With that, no, let us move on with the concept of your heterogeneous arrays. No? So this is one in which the element needs not to be of the same type. So again, no, some programming language indeed support this one. No? Perl, Python, JavaScript, and Ruby. And then some of the newer programming languages. So I believe Dart supports ang heterogeneous arrays. So with this, no, you for your array initialization for C or C-based languages and Python, so as you can see right there, medyo similar siya sa C++. Sa C, yes, sa C-based, no? And for the second example, it used pointer. However, for Python, no, medyo complex sabi si Python as it can support list comprehension. So list comprehension, I believe you can define this as ga-add kita sang conditions, no? Ga-union kita, ga-kita conditions in order to generate a constructed array. So as you see right here, no? List here is your x raised to 2, no? X squared. Then to aqua anong value sa x. For x in range, no? 12, so meaning makuha kita from start kita ma-iterate kita no from 0 to 12. Then ang x nga na siya if the x modulo 3 is equal to 0. So we will only get the value of x if that is divisible by 3. So once divisible siya by 3, we will square that and we will append that to your array. Now, no? So if you have been dealing with machine learning, no, and artificial intelligence, no, your neural networks, you can see that list comprehensions are widely used there. Okay. So operations naman implemented no, or performed on arrays. So the APL provides the most powerful array processing operators for vectors and matrices, as well as unary operators to reverse the column elements, no, mag transpose ka mo. So those are included sa APL. So in Python naman, so assignment lang, but they are only reference changes. So, and not only assignment, no? Python also supports array concatenation and element membership operation. But si Ruby also provides array concatenation. Okay, I think some of you are familiar with this term, no? The rectangular and jagged array. So when you say rectangular, no, rectangular array, so this is a multi-dimensional array in which all of the rows have the same number of elements and the columns have the same number of elements. I think this is proper term dito is your squared array. No? Same ang size ng inyong row and same ang size ng inyong column. But si jagged matrix. So here, have rows with varying number of elements. So meaning, ang size ng inyong column sa inyong two-dimensional column is not the same with your two-dimensional row. Okay. It's your C. And your C++ in Java supports jagged arrays. No? And your, of course, you can, you can set sa Java, you can set them to be rectangular array, no? If you make the size equal, the size of your column and row equal, but ano na siya, though that is not uh, explicitly, no, indicated. So you can set the size as ikaw na bahala maset ang size. No? For the F sharp and C sharp supports rectangular arrays and jagged arrays. Okay, how about sa slice naman? So slice, so this refers to a subset, no? Substructure of an array. This one, you are commonly used in Python. Slices are only useful in languages that have array operations. No? Array operations that support slicing your arrays. Okay, so here, no, for Python, makasupport na siya sang slicing. So in slicing, familiar na kamo sa familiar kamo sa colon. No? Slice kamo between these values, no? Between this subscript or index 3 to 6. So, ang constructed nga array using the slice method, the slice nga operation, are your arrays from index 3. No? So, let's say this is 0, 1, 2, 3. So, just correct me if I'm wrong. And 4, 5, 6. So, 8 to 8, 10, 12, 14 ang unod sa aton nga new array. As 3 element array. Sorry, I think wala na siya gina-include, no? I don't know kung nalipat ako kung gina-include ang 8 o wala gina-include ang 8 or wala gina-include ang 14. So, I believe wala gina-include ang 8. So, my bilindera is 10, 12, 14. Also, si Ruby, support man siya sa slice. However, may method na specifically no, that you can use. So, list that's area example, no? List that slice to returns the third and fourth element of the list. So, for this one, start siya sa subscript 2. Mag-start siya. However, it includes the third and the fourth, no, nga element. So, third, fourth, because we specify the size, no, which indexes or arrays do we include. So, do we include only 1? Do we include 2, 3, 4, 5, 6? The size, no, of your new array. Okay. So, implementation of arrays naman, no? So, access function map subscripts expression to an array address in an array. Okay, so here you can think of this one, no? Okay. So if you are referring it as multidimensional arrays, no? So ang address, so your what do you call your array, and then the list k. So this is your what do you call Okay, so I think ginakuha na siyang memory address, no, of your list K. So in this case, so this refers to a specific item in your index is equals to the address where here kung ang tang lower bounds ang aton nga list, no? Lower bound ang lower bound ang pinakanubo, no? That can be 0 or 1 plus the k. So ang k, whatever item we want to get, no, minus the lower bound multiplied by the element size. And this is only for single dimension array. So for multi-dimension array naman, so i-discuss na lang na siya in the next video. Thank you for watching and see you on the next video.